Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us again for another Tech Visionary interview. This time we have Dux Raymond Sy from Chicago, right?
Washington, D.C. Close
Oh,
enough.
sorry, Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C. Welcome to our interview. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, Reza. Thank you. I'm so grateful for this opportunity to be a part of this program.
Thank you. Thank you. Before we start, I'm talking about cloud, which is the topic today. Can
Mhm.
you introduce yourself? What do you do? What type of business you do before COVID, after COVID?
Sure. So my name is Dux Raymond Sy, as Reza mentioned. I serve as the Chief Brand Officer of Apppoint. Apppoint is a software company where we build technology to help migrate, manage, and protect your data in Microsoft 365. So to your question, how business has been since COVID, I mean, thanks to Microsoft Teams, frankly, our business is doing well. We're working with a lot of organizations around the world to quickly move them to the cloud, and not only move them to the cloud, while in the cloud, help them make sure they manage and help govern the use of Microsoft Teams. Because certainly there are organizations who's facing team sprawl, where Teams is just all over the place. So our technology can help manage that and help drive sustainable adoption. And lastly, we help organizations make sure their data is protected, especially now everybody's using Microsoft 365. There are challenges with data breaches or ransomware. So our cloud backup technology protects customers from getting into that situation. We serve over 16,000 customers around the world. We're in 14 countries, and we're so grateful. We work with organizations that are in the regulated industries, and we also partner with a lot of managed services partners around the world, serving smaller organizations worldwide.
Great, thank you. So talking about this like cloud and digital transformation, moving to the topic of discussion today, that why now is a good time to move to cloud. So let's start with that. Why do you think it's a good time now?
Well, there's obviously there's an obvious reason, right? Today, everybody's working remotely. The old model of having on-premises and legacy technology where people go to the office, and now when people's remote, just trying to connect is a challenge. So that's one problem. The second challenge is the scalability. For example, now there's a lot of demand around video calls and remote calls. Imagine if you have on-premises infrastructure for Skype for Business. Boy, it's going to be tough. So naturally, be it Microsoft 365 or other cloud-based technologies, it's just more scalable. The third part is, frankly, security. A lot of times people are like, oh, cloud is not secure, but I don't understand that. You buy stuff from Amazon, you do online banking, and you're not worried about it. Frankly, security in the cloud is much more secure than your own security on premises. I mean, how many people do you dedicate just for security? In these days, unfortunately, it's just the nature of the beast. There's more risk out there. So you need a really solid, secure platform. And frankly, Microsoft Cloud has the best security platform out there, not just what Microsoft has put into it, but a lot of the industry certifications and their commitment to all the regional data centers they put forth. So for example, in the US, they have specific data centers for the US government. I know out there in New Zealand, Australia, they have local regional data centers as well. So those are the three reasons, right? Enabling remote work, scaling, and making sure that people are productive and getting their job done. And third, for security reasons.
Great. You mentioned that really good in a well-structured way. Security is obviously one of the main concerns. What do you see as other concern when people think about moving to clouds? What is the blockage?
Well, other concerns, right, is it's just the unknown. And a
Hmm.
lot of people, especially that are used to their jobs on premises, patching servers. I don't know about you, Reza. I don't miss Patch Tuesday, where I have to patch Windows or SQL Server on Tuesdays. I don't miss that at all. But it's the job security. So now not knowing, okay, if everything's in the cloud now, what do I do now? Do I lose my job? We shouldn't think that way, because you're not going to lose your job. In fact, there's newer things that you can do. Whereas in the past, we're just stuck with patching servers, making sure the lights are on. Now you could move forward to a more business enablement role. Now you don't have to worry about patching stuff, but then you work with the business and figure out, oh, this is what you need. We can tap into Azure Cognitive Services or virtual agents in Power Platform to automate a lot of the business processes. So the concern is just the unknown, like, will I lose my job, right? And it sounds so simple, but it's true for a lot of people, especially who's been working for a long time in IT. The other thing I can think of around the blockage is the perception of cost. Organizations think it's cheaper to be on premises because I don't need to keep paying subscription. But if you look at the bigger picture, it's actually not any more expensive. In fact, if you extrapolate it in the long term, for the value that you're getting, it's much cheaper. As an example, we as an organization, Apppoint alone, by moving our infrastructure to Microsoft 365, we save about $500,000 a year between phone lines and SharePoint on-premises infrastructure, hiring people to take care of that. And it just dramatically how we do business, change how we did business. So cost is, I think, one of the misconceptions that people have.
Yeah, that's right, because like it's like paying a lump sum at the beginning versus like paying it on a recurring basis. A lot of companies make that mistake, that if I'm going to make that recurring basis, I'm probably paying more. But there are more to it, of course, as you mentioned. Now, let's say if a company decided to move to cloud, what are things they need to consider if a business owner decided that, yeah, let's move my technology over there? What are critical things that they need to consider beforehand?
Sure. Very good question. So 3 important things. At the end of the day, you don't just move because everybody's doing it, right? At the end of the day, you think about what are your business goals and what are your reasons. Especially these days, top of mind is cost savings. Certainly, the capital investment for the cloud is much lower than setting up your own infrastructure. So is it cost? Is it you want to provide more scalable and agile infrastructure? Or number 3, you want to provide a better customer service. By moving to the cloud, you can better serve your customers. So those are the 3 key considerations. And then based on those reasons, then you start doing it. Now you look at which vendors out there. Obviously, I'm biased to Microsoft, but in some cases, for what you need, Microsoft may be too much for you at this point, right? So you may consider other solutions out there that would meet your needs based on cost, to scale your business, and then better serving your customers.
Great. That leads actually to a great point, that when they want to move, like when a company decided that let's go to cloud, let's move our services to cloud, then like there are so many cloud service providers. Of course, we are both coming like from Microsoft sides of think. we might look a little bit biased on that, but what are the main important factors you think that a good cloud service provider should have so that people can make a good decision based on it?
Again, right, top of mind for everybody is the bang for your buck. Not necessarily the cheapest, but am I getting the right value for what I need? Second is security. It's always top of mind. You want to make sure your cloud service provider is as secure as it could be. And you can just do a quick search. You can look at your cloud service providers out there and see who's suffered data breaches more frequent than others. The third part is you want to make sure that the support they offer is top notch, because, while technology is great, no technology is perfect. At some point, you will need help, right? So when I say the support they offer, be it directly from the vendor, in this case, Microsoft or Google or Amazon, or do they have an ecosystem that can provide you help, especially in cases that it may be unique to you? One thing I can say about Microsoft has the biggest partner ecosystem, and there's a lot of experts like Reza or MVPs out there that can offer that help. And help doesn't necessarily mean fixing things. Maybe for your business, you may need a very specialized solution that it's above and beyond what Microsoft offers. But guess what? Microsoft has platforms like the App Source. Think of it as like an App Store where you can go to appsource.microsoft.com and have custom business solutions for your organization. So you thinking about the support system that the vendor provides is very important.
Yeah, that's quite critical because yeah, if we just move to the cheapest one, it might not be the best one with the best support system. Uh, Thank you for mentioning that. Is there anything else you like to mention that I haven't asked about?
Well, Reza, one thing also I think it's important for everyone is look at all your peers, or frankly the journey of other organizations out there. A lot of organizations has already moved to the cloud, a lot of experiences and lessons learned, so I'm sure you'll find that. One recommendation I have, and this is my selfless plug here, is tune into the podcast I have, Shift Happens, where I interview organizations around the world, large and small, and they share their journey to the cloud, the good, the bad, the ugly, and the lessons they've learned. So, go to your favorite podcast platform, look for Shift Happens, SHIFT Happens podcast, and look forward to any feedback you can offer.
Great, thank you, and thank you for mentioning that podcast. Definitely helpful for our audience to get more insight. Or let's say, what is the best way for our audience to get in touch with you?
So I would love to hear from everybody. As you see, there's a URL, linktree/meet Dux. That's all my contact info. But you'll find me on Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube. I have my blog. Just look me up. I would love to connect with you. And if there's any questions you have around your journey to the cloud, I'd be more than happy to answer it for you.
Awesome. That's great. Thank you. Thank you again for your time. Really appreciate it. And thank you everyone for watching this interview. Until the next one, see you all.